All right, welcome everyone to today's meetup group and meeting about transforming QE teams into valuable strategic business assets by Deep Barut. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. Before we get started, I have a couple of household items to go through. So, the agenda for today, we'll start with the welcome. We go over the problem statement, then what is its solution, best practices, and then game changes solution. And before that, I want to highlight and talk about our corporate sponsor, Slalom Build. So Slalom Build is not your regular management consulting company, but it's a company specialized in creating custom builds for our clients. So we help kind of our companies accelerate their digital transformation journey by blending in design, product engineering, analytics, and automation. Testaholics Anonymous got started a couple of years ago, and our current organizers are myself, Sven Therian. I'm a principal at Slalom Build. We have Carlin Capella. Sorry. She's also a principal over at Slalom Build, and David Tan. And I keep forgetting what exactly he does, but he's our QE ninja, supposedly. So now let me introduce you to Deep Barot, founder of Context QA and presenter of today's topics, transferring QA teams into valuable strategic business assets. So Deep is from Austin, Texas, and has about 12 years of experience in software development, ranging from being a software engineer to managing teams and leading DevOps at both startups and corporates. He founded Context QA, who is the winner of CodeGuys 2022, to help software development teams save up to 30% of their time by providing no-code, low-code solutions. And tonight he will talk about and share effective tools and techniques that can change the way your development and leadership teams perceive the quality engineering team. So without further ado, here he is, Deep. I'll transfer it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Sven, for the introduction, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity to the organizers and Slalom team. And I'm super excited to present. So let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, so today's topic is transforming QA teams into valuable strategic business assets. And the agenda for today is we will go through the problems and what are the current solutions we are applying, what are the best practices available, and how to be a champion using the game changer solution. So the problem, right? So there are millions of issues related to QA, but I will be discussing top issues. So in the current like software engineering teams, if you see, there are the most frequently used sentences I posted here that everyone like in the company like VP of engineering or CTO might be saying, oh, we have so many quality related issues. And these are the sentences we hear again and again, such as we do not have a test automation, or we are not doing continuous testing, or we are not having enough resources, or there is a technical debt, or our requirements are not aligned with the test cases or the development task, or we do not have the infrastructure. And this goes into loop again and again. And here I'm pitching for a better solution. Okay. So main problem is the QA mindset, right? From the leadership perspective, how leadership perceives QA teams and what needs to be changed over the time. So QA is very important part of the software development process and customer satisfaction and generating revenue. But there are some gaps in how leadership team perceives QA team. The first thing is QA team is being viewed as a cost center. So if company has an option to not hire QA, they will not. The main point is they only uh, gate the QA team because they just want to make sure there are not any bugs, but they are not seeing that as a mandatory, as a quality is not considered as a mandatory. They always QA team always deliver the a poor result in terms of the bad results to the team, that hey, these are the bugs, these are the so many bugs, or these are the performance issues. So they uh, deliver consistently those messages, and those leaders perceives them negatively. Also, QA team members, either people testing manually or through the automation, are being considered as they have a gaps or knowledge gaps. Either it is a technical knowledge or product specific knowledge. They are not keeping up with the continuous knowledge that team is looking for, and that's how a developer or other managers perceives QA, as they are not having enough knowledge regarding the product or the overall technical side. QA team needs a constant validation in terms of why you need this infrastructure, why you want that, and they need to prove again and again. And this behavior demotivates the QA team, and also affects the team member, increases the burnout, and affects the product's quality. And leaders, managers, or developers, they do not involve QA teams from the beginning, and whenever they involve, they see a QA team as slowing down the software delivery process, because they are the gatekeeper, making sure that quality is maintained or not, and they try to get away from this process and considers QA team as a slowing down the process. So overall, if you see here, uh, leadership sees QA in a different perspective, how they are bringing value to the team. They are not seeing that way, but they are costing company money and affecting a company in this way that is slowing down, so they are not able to release faster. Okay. So what is happening, right? So it is not 100% their fault either, because it is due to the legacy processes coming along, or the QA team hasn't been changed that much since years, and that's a few reasons I mentioned over here, which is large untraceable test plans, and I will show you the example in a moment. But there are big documents, such as a Notion document or Confluence document that team just put together, like this kind of spreadsheet, or this kind of test plan, and attaches all the requirements with the test cases and all, and team is not able to understand what is the how to test certain feature. Specifically, development team, what is the scope of the test plan? Another thing is inconsistent test cases. So different team or different team member picks a different terminology when they are writing a test cases, and there is no consistency, and that affects how QA team delivers the test scenarios to the developer team, and how developer team perceives it. Uh, when we asked, based on the research, right? When I asked so many VP of engineering or CTO, what is the code coverage look like for your testing process? And they do not have the full clarity. They might know that, oh, we have 60%, 70% coverage, but when it comes to the breaking down in terms of the feature specific, epic specific, story specific, they do not have that visibility. Another point is not QA team, right? They are not dipping too much into the product. They are only scratching the surface, like what is happening as an issue, but why it is happening, what is happening. They are not spending enough time to understand the product even more. Who is our customer? Why this scenario is important versus another, and they are not getting too much into detail. And that is one of those reasons, they are not able to speak the same language to the product team or the development team. And QA team or anyone, right? When it like time comes to communicate with your leaders, we do not amplify what work we are doing as a QA team, like how many bugs we are raising, what are the priority bugs, what are the low priority bugs, setting up the dashboard, sending updates regularly, or managing such a dashboard so your leaders know what is the coverage, what is the trend, what is the health of the quality product or feature look like until someone asks. And that affects the how a leadership team perceives the QA team, because they only mentions at the end, I did X, I did Y, but not continuously while they are actually doing the work. And last but not the least, it takes forever to automate because of challenges in the like a flakiness or constantly changing UI and many other reasons, environments, data-driven testing and all. It takes forever, and then leadership gets tired of this process as it never reaches to the like target goal of like 50%, 70%, 80% of automation. And it's still the gap still stays the same or even increases but never decreases. So those are the practices needs to be changed, and through the best practices. Okay. So here I'm going to show you what are the best practices that you can follow to boost the efficiency and maximize results. First of all, team who are testing, right? There is no one way or the other way. So there is not always manual testing or automation testing or anything. Everything needs to be work together. So tester needs to adopt the tools which are available to them, as well as improve the communication. And that's how like a communication, the manual effort plus automation can provide the greater quality results to the company. And it can help to make products stable, robust, and consistent. So first thing, I would suggest that all the QA team members should work on the terminology that is being used by developer. So try to pay attention to the terminology that developer uses in stand-up meetings or weekly engineering meetings regarding releases, builds, APIs, server side, like compiling, Maven, Gradle. Try to pay attention to that because this is very important. Even you do not need to get into too much detail on those terminology, but at least you should have an idea so you can connect the dots and speak the same terminology back with the developers. In the document which I will be sharing at the end, I have attached a document where like it talks about the like a 41 or 45 terminology, but there are many more. But you can start with this one. What are the like cache, classes, what is the cookies, and many more. So that will build up the knowledge and you will be able to speak the same terminology with the developers. Another important aspect is understand the data, event, and business flows. So often QA team or other developers also considers that, oh, this is not important to me because I'm doing only this part. But no, for you, it is very important to know how your product is working. How are you getting that whatever the interface you are seeing on the front? How are you getting that? Where it is hosted? All the events or data is coming from the backend. What is the API? You do not need to go into too much detail, but at least you should have an idea and at least a flow chart of the process that doing X does a Y in the backend, or how it is connected to the database and why this particular functionality is working or not working. Because once you understand or you have some idea, you will be able to discuss more with your development team or provide some feedbacks there that provide your suggestions as well. And obviously these processes will help you to upskill yourself as well. Streamline test case writing. So it is very important because consistency in a test case writing or bug reporting is very important, because all the developers needs to understand your terminology. So as I mentioned here, take a regular feedback. So whenever you write a test case, always once in a while check with your developer, your manager, that is the language that you use, all the steps you mentioned make sense or not, and take their feedback. What are the more information that you could use to provide more value to the developer, so it can help them to fix the bugs as well as the debug the issue, and that will build a good trust and relationship between developer and QA team member, and they will be considered as a friend and not the opposite, at the opposite side. One important aspects over here is whichever tool you are using. If you are using Jira or TestRail or any other tool, use the label appropriately. And overall, over here also, right? I added the resources again, like how to use the labels in a meaningful way. So labels are very important because, as I mentioned in the previous slide, currently the test cases that you are writing or bug you are reporting, you might be reporting like hundreds of bugs. And based on my experience, that is overwhelming for the developers, and they might not be able to pay attention. So if you label those bugs or those requirements in such a way that it is a clear, concise, and consistent, they will be able to prioritize based on the stage the product is. So for example, like if you are fixing if you are only developing a login feature and product is at early stage, and you are still trying to test it with 100 different kind of scenarios with the login, then you should just provide that like test case is a positive or negative, and just do the like basic testing to start with, because product is not mature yet. And then eventually once it gets mature, you try to introduce more advanced scenarios, and go from there. So when you report those issues, you will not report that, oh, there are 100 issues. You will make sure that basic testing is working, but advanced testing is not working. And that might be the priority, to make it work for basic scenarios, not for the advanced. So you can leverage labels very effectively if you plan and attach with the requirements or the test cases or the bug report, and that will make your reporting very effective in front of your leaders. And last but not the least, leverage modern tools for improved productivity. So so here I put together some tools, so such as Google Lighthouse. Okay, so I will give you the example over here. So for any website, you can click on, go to the Chrome browser, and click on inspect, and go to the Lighthouse, and you can click on like analyze page load. So what Google Lighthouse does is it checks the performance of your site, how long it takes to load on the web application, how long it takes to load on the mobile application, and provides you the metrics. Here it is very important for you, because you do not need to go into too much detail, but this is the tool available to you, and you will come to know about the how the web applications performance look like on different devices. What is the performance means, what is accessibility means, what is the PWA means to you. So this will improve your knowledge towards the like performance testing, and also you will be able to speak the same terminology to your SRE or DevOps team, that our application is not behaving perfectly. And you will have some numbers in front of you, which you can use to benchmark, and then test once a week, once a month, and speak the same language back to the team. So this is one of the tool. Another tool which I like is Google Recorder. So if you go here, and again, all this information is mentioned in this document, which I will be sharing with you. Uh, so in a Google Recorder, if you go here, so click on the inspect element, click on recorder. So Google provides a tool for you to record and play. So you click here, and this is a in the beta stage, so it is still in the testing mode, but you can still use it. And this can be useful for the manual testers as well as the automation testers. And here you can say that test demo and March 16, and you can start recording, and you can take actions. It will record all the steps for you. Okay, so here you see that, right? All the actions you take, you will be able to capture and go from there. It also shows you the locators, so that will simplify your work over here. So try to use this one for repeated test cases for yourself. You can extract out these test cases. So if you are not using any tool, and if you want to just use a free resource, you can use this tool to understand the different terminology about the, like, what is the viewport, what is the screen size over here, right? And what is the selector. So that will help you to get up to speed with all the terminology being used by the testing frameworks, and will prepare you for the future. And you do not need to reinvent the wheel because it is already available. Okay, so here I mentioned about uh, these best practices, right? So what you want, right, at the end is try to be proactive, talk to the developer, try to learn from them in terms of what is the flow look like, business processes, the terminology, and you will be at the same you will be at the same level, and they will appreciate your feedbacks, your understanding, because now you are speaking the same language, and they will value more. And you will be not sitting on the back seat of the car, but you will be a co-pilot in the flight. So by learning these practices, by learning these processes and learning these tools, you will improve your place in the organization, and your leaders will take like consider your performance and your inputs, um, and value it more. Okay, so last section is how you can do even better. So what I mentioned is about what are the problems you have, what are the processes you are following now, and uh, what are the current tools available in the market. There are bits and pieces here and there everywhere, but what the tool that I'm going to show you will change the way you approach the problem, and the tool is Context QA. So with a Context QA, right, you can improve your software testing process and become very efficient over here. And I will show you how. So Context QA is a low code, no code tool. So what it does is it allows any technical or non-technical team member to create a test automation easily using this tool. So I will show you how it looks like. So this is the Context QA, and this is the dashboard, and this is the tool it looks like. Okay, and I will just show you the like a test case, how it records the test case for you. Okay, and to support it, we have a Chrome extension over here. So if you go over here in a Chrome extension, so just sign in to the platform, you can create a test case. So here we are entering username, password, normal activity, so it will record it for you. and you can do any activity you normally do here, and click on admin search and maybe log out. Okay, so and then come back here, stop the recording, and if you see here, this tool writes all the steps into the natural language for you. You can copy the same steps, paste it anywhere, such as you just go here and you can paste it anywhere over here. So what it does, right? It recorded all the use cases. So if you're running behind on your test coverage, you can just record it. It will convert to the plain English for you. At the same time, editing or updating the test case is very easy for you. So you just here go, it is more like a fill in the blanks for you. You just save it and it will reflect over here. So whenever there is a change, you just go here and just update that value, and that will help you out. Other than that, like it automatically finds out what are the selectors you are using and what are the screens you are going through. So it will help you to identify the selectors if you're writing automation test cases. Another good feature of over here is it goes like if you go here, select on anything, right, and just find locator, and it will, sorry, yeah, it will help you to find the locator over here. So let me just show you. And also like it will help you to like navigate to the all the steps over here one by one. So it will be helpful for you to come back, or if the team member is changed or any new team member comes up or your developer comes up, they will be able to follow through what you want. Okay, so now you recorded it. Now you can come to the this platform, which we call it a portal. This is a Chrome extension. So in the portal, you can come and search for the test case, right? And you just click on run button, and this test case is already automated for you. So you do not need to write any automation code. So with such tools, right, you can simplify test case writing as well as automating this process, and and it will provide you the full details, which we will see in a moment. Here you can see the like a run history of the tool here as well. So if you see here, right, it automated the process which we recorded, and it will show all the details to you. Okay, so why this is important, right? Because now you recorded all the test steps that you do not need to write. You can also add all the verification statement by just selecting the templates over here. There are so many templates that you can use, and it will be fill in the blanks for you. So you do not spend too much time into learning the programming languages, but use that time to apply to sharpen your test cases, apply your analytical skills to come up with advanced test cases that helps you to test more scenarios, and use this tool to simplify and automate it. And over here you already automated, so this can be used by your developer, your project manager, or business analyst person, so they can run it again and again and save lots of time before they send their development task to the QA. Now over here, it will provide you the like a full visibility of all the traces for you, so you will be able to like go through it and figure it out. Where is the issue, what is the issue, what is the network traffic look like. So if there are issues or bugs, your developer will have all the information they need. So they do not need to go back and forth again and again with you, not to jump on a call and try to just reproduce again and again, because now they have everything. They have a logs, they have a video, they have a trace, so they can understand everything. So what is happening here, right? You are providing whatever the developer needs. So that will make your place very valuable in the team. But at the same time, it provides the same information to you also, whichever is available to the developer. So you can try to understand what are these endpoint look like, what is the response you are getting, and what is the endpoint it is hitting. So it will help you to build up your knowledge that when you click on this button, what is happening, when you click on this button, what is happening, right? So you will be able to understand and speak the same language. So this tool will help you to upskill without learning the programming. So this is one important aspect. This tool does more than only just writing this automation, right? It does like a data-driven testing using the data profiles, such as this one, where you can have a Excel spreadsheet like data, and you can parameterize all the test steps and automate it. Another very important step is it has a cross environment, so you can run the same test cases, parameterize, run against different environments, dev environment, test environment, Q environment, and prod environment, without rewriting all these test cases. And as I mentioned, right, you can provide the labels to run only specific feature specific test cases. So it will be very efficient for you. So it will not run like 1,000 test cases for you. It will only just run 50 test cases for that feature. So it will be very helpful for your developer to test before he pushes his code to the QA environment. Okay. Um, before spending too much time on this one, we as a context here developed a native Jira application in November last year, and we won the competition from the Atlassian. So the application was this one. Okay. So what it does is whatever you created in the platform context QA, right, as a test case, it maps everything with the label and shows you the summary of for given particular task. What are the current status look like? Does it has a test coverage or not? How much performance score it has, right? When was last executed, right? And what are the test cases, or how many test cases are passing? Some graphics of the last test execution. So what it does is provides the visibility to your developer, dev manager, as well as the VP of engineering or anyone who wants to look at it. Because the current problem is like you are not able to provide all detailed visibility at a granular level, which this tool will provide. One important aspects over here will be, along with test cases that we have seen here, all the requirements will also be attached at the same time. So what we are trying to do here is aligning requirements with the test coverage and development tasks. So developer can understand what is the requirement for the task, as well as what are the test coverage or test cases that he need to make sure. And that's what's happening here. As I mentioned, this is the ticket will be created whenever you create into the Jira here. So all the test steps will be visible to the developer whenever the test is created. So as I mentioned, developer will have the clear understanding now which test case he needs to work towards to make sure his development task works towards. And at the same time, it also shows all the recording, all the trace for the given test case. So he has an understanding of when it was last time passing and when it is failing, so they can understand it even better. And this is not the end. Very high level. Uh, this tool provides a granular visibility at the epic and story level. What is the test coverage look like? What are the percentage it is passing, and what is the test trend look like? So if you can see here, based on the feature specific, it does a breakdown of the story level and epic level. What is the health of the product look like based on this product? So the point over here is use such a tool, context key or similar tool, which make you efficient. And it is not something that will replace you. It will only make you efficient. It will only make you look better to the team, and it will upskill you. So with this tool you can do the like double or triple amount of works in the same amount of time, and deliver a better result for the company. So I will end my presentation over here with all the details. And as I mentioned, company name is Context QA. You can try https contextqa.com, and my email is deep@contextqa.com. And I will pause over here. There are last 15 minutes that I want to keep up for the question and answer session.
Deep, I was wondering, is there a trial version available for people to use if they're interested in the tool?
Yes, yes. So yeah, so our trial version is available. It is a 14-day free trial, no string attached. So please try, provide us a feedback, and we will. And if you need any support, we also provide the support to you as well.
And what is the licensing structure? Because you were talking about you collaborate with the developers and you collaborate with your uh, Scrum Master or your product owner. So is there like different plans for that? And the integration with Jira, which is exciting, is that part of the standard plan? Sorry.
Yeah,
What you
so
looking at
thanks
right
for
now?
asking this question. So so the strategy that we are coming up with is a pay as you go. So it is a base plan, and the base part we are giving here is a parallel testing, because that is the something blocking all the testers with other tools. So what we are trying to provide is unlimited users, unlimited projects, parallel testing, and it comes with 1,000 minutes or 2,000 minutes to start with, and then it is a 10 cents per test run minute. So we are not charging anything for using our platform, our Chrome extension, or our portal. It will be only charged to run the test cases. And the way we are running is very cost effective for you. So in a minute, you can run 2 to 3 test cases. So yeah, so you can run like 3,000 test cases in a month for just only $200, where you do not need to worry about the infrastructure. Our Jira app is currently priced at like a $10 per user per month, but we are providing like a 40% discounts right now on the Jira app.
And it says in there cross-browser testing. So what browsers support it?
Yeah, so currently Chrome and Firefox are supported. We are all currently working with the Safari as well. So those are the three browsers that we are providing right now. And our goal is to include yeah, Microsoft Edge as well.
Yeah, I want to mention the terminology. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm from a non-traditional background. I actually have a master's in bioengineering, and I started as a developer. And what I noticed was, even though I know my stuff and I know what I'm talking about, if I'm not using the right terminology, then people look at me like I have no idea what I'm talking about. So I agree with you that that's really important, kind of using the same terminology as the developers are using.
Yeah, so thanks for echoing that. And I was a DevOps engineer, and I was a software leading a team, and I found out that QA team members are like only focus on their area, just they speak their language and whatever they used before, but they do not circle back with the developers. And then after some time they don't talk to each other, just so and that's what my goal is. They try to speak the same language, so they come closer and speak more often, and build the healthy relationship.
Yeah, I agreed with you, Deep, because I'm also coming with the non-technical background, and sometimes we talk with the developer not using the proper terminology. I feel like we are losing the trust, or we are losing like developer is losing the interest to talk with us about that problem. So I'm agreed on that point.
Correct. And so the biggest problem here is ignorance, right? So at the least, we do not want anyone to ignore you as a QA team member, or do not just set their mindset that, hey, this person doesn't know anything, right? So to do not left out. And it is a good practice also to learn new words and understand the technology better, right? So why not at the workplace? So
I have a
thanks. Mhm.
question regarding DevOps pipeline. So, is your tool integrated to support CI/CD?
Correct. So it has a webhook. So any CI/CD platform can trigger the execution to our platform. Yes.
How about the reports? Where would they reside?
Yes, so currently reports are available on our platform. The way we are trying to make is it should be available in the Confluence pages or inside Jira as well. So entire team can visualize it.
Nice.
You kind of showed how you can basically run it against different environments because dynamic, I guess the
Sure.
dynamic data. I was wondering, does the tool also allows for dynamic fields or like something you were showing where you log in as an administrator? Could you data drive your test, or is it something you're planning to doing in the future?
Yeah. So it is currently doing. So I will just take one of this example over here, right? So over here, so you can pick any template, right? Like enter test data into the specific field, right? And so test data can be like a parameterized value. So here are the parameters that you can use. So it is a environment, it can be environment variable, it is a random generated value, or it can be a like parameter, right? So here you like currently the data profile is a data profile. So I can choose which value I want to use here and it will pick it up from there. And also I have a saved elements stored here. So I can say that, okay, enter password into the like maybe password field. Okay. So here it will automatically feed the value from the parameter or the data driven stuff here. Okay. uh, like similar to what you asked, right? Like for loop, you can do the for loop against the data profile, because if you want to fill up multiple values or try with the multiple login scenarios, you can say that, okay, use this profile, start from this one, end to this one, start, and then you can add a step underneath that saying that enter data, and say that the test data is again coming from the parameters, and enter username into the username field, and it will go through the like all the loop into that data profile 1 2 3, and one by one add data into this field and try it out for you. Did I answer your question? Sorry.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. And the same happens for the environments also. So currently we did for just a data driven testing, but same you can do for the environment, and you can choose the environment over here as a default environment, but then at the time of the execution you can choose against which environment you want to run this data, and by dynamically it will fetch these parameters from that environment for you.
I have a question for you. I mean, most of the projects that I work on right now are kind of React based or like Angular based. And sometimes, like, when we use this open source technologies, um, the difficulty we see in validations would be in the tables,
Mhm.
right? So I just wanted to know, have you had any challenges with your tool automating such kind of scenarios?
So not specifically to data tables, because that are the scenarios that we tested against, but sometimes the recorder, right? So when there is a dynamic CSS or dynamic JavaScript coming up or shadow element, at that time we are facing few challenges that we are coming over. But when it comes to the like data and iterating through those fields, yeah, like the way we are operating, yeah, we were able to test it successfully with the tables.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But against like currently we are testing this with e-commerce application as well as one sales engagement platform. So far we haven't noticed it, but again we are going towards other industries also, so we may encounter some of the scenarios. Yeah.
So can the tester edit this programmatically, or is the edit only happening on the UI for the test case?
So Yes, so for so it is a low code, no code, pro code solution. So
Right.
it is a coder. You can select the templates, or if in the extreme case you want to write a code, there is a custom code script that you can choose from here, and that you can write plain JavaScript code, and it will work fine for you.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so the based on our research, we found that team stays away from such tool because it locks them down, just on like restricting them to use only templates. And our goal is to not restrict them. So those are like, yeah, that was the first thing we wanted to give is uh, ability. If they want to code complex scenarios, they feel free to code it, and all this stuff works in the same file, so you can have a low code, no code, and pro code into the one file. And not only that, you can have a API testing also, so you can have a API testing over here, like a fake API, like I might write any API, but you can use API testing, so you can make your automation even more stable, right? Because you are not writing everything or depending everything on the UI elements. Only half part can be done through the API testing, and rest of the half you can do using the UI testing. So.
You mentioned file, which made me think, where is the code stored, and is there like version control in case that someone accidentally modifies the test?
Yes, so currently it is not. Currently it is being stored into the database. We are thinking a approach to allow user to see the data, but yeah, it is not available, this option right now, as a, like a dump, like generating a source code and putting into the GitHub yet. But it has a versioning system that we can explore. It is not rolled out for the general audience right now, but this is something we are like working towards, that allow user to um, allow user to version out their code. Yeah, so.
Thanks. Are there any further questions? If not, I want to thank you for your time, Deep. It was very informative. It looks like a great tool. And thanks for all of your tips on how QE can kind of work better with the developer and the rest of the team.
Yep. And thank you very much, everyone, for listening. And thank you very much, Slelam, for giving this opportunity. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and we will be uploading it to our YouTube channel for those that were not able to attend.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Sure.
Deep. It's pretty interesting.
Yep. Thank you very much, Colin.